Chapter 4, Mishnah 2. This Mishnah deals with cases where someone committed several acts that might have been transgressions, and it teaches how many Asham Talui offerings he must bring. Just as if someone eats one piece of chaylev and then another piece of chaylev in one lapse of awareness, i.e. he did not realize between the two acts of eating that he had sinned, he is obligated to bring only one chatas. Likewise, in a case where it is unknown whether he ate them, i.e. he possibly ate one piece of chaylev and then possibly ate another piece of chaylev and did not realize between the two acts of eating that he might have sinned, he brings only one asham talui. In the next case, however, it is necessary to bring two asham talui offerings. But if there was a realization between eating the two pieces, i.e. after eating the first piece but before he ate the second, he realized that he might have sinned, just as he would have to bring a chatas for each one, so too he must bring an asham talui for each one. That is, if someone unintentionally committed the sin of eating a piece of fat that is definitely chaylev, then became aware of his sin, and then unintentionally committed the same sin again, he would have to bring two chatas offerings. The same is true of the asham talui. If someone unintentionally committed the sin of eating a piece of fat that is possibly chaylev, then became aware that he might have sinned, and then unintentionally committed the same sin again, he would have to bring two asham talui offerings. Another case in which it is necessary to bring more than one asham talui, just as if someone eats chaylev, blood, no sar, a korban that was not eaten or burned within the required time, and pigul, a korban brought with certain types of improper intent, in one lapse of awareness, he is obligated to bring a chatas for each item. So too in a case where it is unknown whether he ate them or whether he ate permitted foods instead, in one lapse of awareness, he brings an asham talui for each item. The Mishnah cites a dispute about someone who found out that he had definitely committed a sin but does not know which sin. If someone had chaylev and nosar in front of him, and he ate one of them but does not know which one he ate. Or if someone had his wife who was Anita and his sister with him in the house, and he unintentionally sinned with one of them and he does not know which one he unintentionally sinned. Or if Shabbos and Yom Kippur fell out one after the other, and he did melacha during bein hashemashos, the twilight period between the 2 days, and it is not known during which day he did the melacha. The law in all three cases is the subject of a dispute. Rabbi Eliezer obligates him to bring a chatas because he certainly committed a sin for which a chatas is required. But Rabbi Yeshua exempts him from bringing a chatas because he holds that one is not liable to a chatas unless he knows which sin he committed. According to the preceding version of the dispute between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua, they also argue about someone who did melacha during bein hashmasos between Shabbos and Yom Kippur. According to the next Tana, though, their dispute does not include that case. Rabbi Yossi said Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua did not argue about someone who did melacha during bein hashmasos between Shabbos and Yom Kippur, for they agree that he is exempt from bringing a chatas, because it can be said that he did part of the melacha today and part of the melacha tomorrow. That is, he might have started the melacha before the moment when day changes into night and finished it after that moment, in which case part of the melacha would have been performed in the daytime, Shabbos, and part during the night, Yom Kippur. If that is indeed what happened, he would be exempt from a chatas, because he did not do a full melacha on Shabbos or a full melacha on Yom Kippur. Since this is a possibility, everyone agrees that he does not bring a chatas. So in what case concerning melacha did Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua disagree? They disagreed regarding someone who did melacha in the middle of the day, and it is not known whether he did it on Shabbos or it on Yom Kippur, because he cannot remember whether the day was Shabbos or Yom Kippur. Or they disagree regarding someone who did melacha, but it is not known what type of melacha he did. In both of these circumstances, Rabbi Eliezer obligates him to bring a chatas because he certainly committed a sin that requires a chatas. But Rabbi Yeshua exempts him from a chatas because he does not know which sin he committed. Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua disagree as to whether the sinner in cases of this type must bring a chatas. Now, according to Rabbi Eliezer, who obligates the sinner to bring a chatas, he obviously does not bring an asham talui. The Mishnah states how Rabbi Yeshua, who exempts him from bringing a chatas, would rule regarding the asham talui. Rabbi Yehuda said Rabbi Yeshua would exempt him even from an asham talui, because the sinner knows that he definitely sinned, whereas an asham talui is brought only where the sinner is uncertain whether he sinned at all.